Hey everyone, welcome back to my page, Peachy Keen. Today we are going to be doing a zombie look, so I'm going to be showing you a couple of different things to do with liquid latex. This being one of them, kind of like a rotting off face look, and then I'll show you how to do just a regular cut too with the liquid latex. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to start with just liquid latex and a brush that I don't care anything about, and kind of put it just in a small area on my forehead wherever I want the kind of crunchy look to go. Ooh, and don't use too much because it will drip. Actually, what I'm using to get it like the crinkly look is a brown paper bag. Then we'll set it on. Press it down, and then we'll just wait for it to dry for a little bit before we pull off around the edges. This would also be good if you're trying to get a burn look. Just put your regular makeup on top of it and cover it like a scar. That's had a couple minutes to dry. Now I'm just gonna go off around the edges and peel. I'm holding on to the middle while I pull on the sides because I don't want any of it to come up. This is the time where you can scrunch it a little bit more if you'd like it to be a little bit, you know, yuckier looking. Especially around the edges because you want it to blend in with your actual skin. So you want to just go around it just a little bit so that the parts on the edge are flat. Now that I have all of the edges done, I'm just going to go in the middle and dab it on. Does not have to be perfect because we're not looking for, you know, we don't want it to be a perfect look. Now we're just going to wait for it to dry for a couple minutes, and then we'll go ahead and start putting our regular foundation color on top of it. So it's been a few minutes, and as you can see, it's starting to kind of turn yellow on the sides and clearish. And so once it starts to do that, you're generally pretty good and can start putting makeup on top of it. If you wait longer, it'll turn even yellower, but I'm not that patient. So we're gonna go ahead and use it like this. So I'm just gonna use, this is just CoverGirl Clean Matte liquid foundation to go ahead and cover over it. This is just like one of the really pale colors. It's called Ivory because, you know, at the end of this I want to look pale and, you know, almost dead. I'm just using a regular makeup sponge that I got from CVS. We're just gonna go all around that and cover it. If it's not covering enough for you, then you can wait and let this dry and then go back over it with another layer. I'm not worried about covering it too much with this part because I'm putting so much like blood and guts on top of it that I don't think it'll really matter. Now I'm just gonna go in. Usually I would use something different, but this is kind of what I have right now. This is just like cheap Fun World makeup from Walmart. Go in with another brush that I don't care about at all. And I'm gonna use multiple colors, so like this isn't one-dimensional. You don't want it to become one-dimensional. So first I'm gonna go in with actually purple and just start dabbing. If you get a little outside, that's totally okay too. It'll actually help kind of blend it in, almost like a bruise. Same brush. I'm not worried about cleaning it off and everything because this is a messy look. I'm gonna go in with some red. I'm actually gonna go in with some black too, just to give it some darker dimension. And as you can see, I'm kind of leaving some of the lighters too because I want it to look like skin that's like rotting off. So I still want some of that like natural skin color to be in there. So here I'm just gonna kind of like lightly brush over, and then the high parts are gonna catch the black. I'm gonna take Vampire Blood, and I'm going to spread it out just on this piece of cardboard that I have, like so. And I'm gonna actually take some toilet paper and dip it in there after it's crinkled up so that it's not like, you know, specifically in any places. So I'm just gonna dip it in, maybe dab some off on here, and start going in. And I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm partnering with Halloween Express this year. So I'm doing makeup for their clients and different tutorials in the store. So it's Halloween Express on Beach and Hodges if you live in Jacksonville. And I'll be there a few of the Saturdays in October to do, Saturdays and Sundays, to do just different makeup looks and teach you kind of how to do things like this and different prosthetics and even like the easier ones that they use. So one thing that they sell there, it's this company, it's called Moon Glow, and all of their products glow in the dark. So like they have this green slime, they have fake blood, I just don't have it here. They have all different like nail polish colors, they have hair gel, eyeliner, you know, stuff for mascara. So they have like neon pink and blue and green and I think yellow, just all of the colors. So anyway, definitely cool and should check it out because who doesn't like to glow in the dark on Halloween, especially. So this, and it's actually, this is really good because the vampire blood is so runny and this is a little bit thicker, so it stays on a little bit better. So I'm just gonna kind of go in and add it all around just to kind of give like an oozing effect. I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna use the vampire blood just to make some of it a little bit more runny like the slime. I'm gonna like take a big glob on my brush and then kind of just drip it on. And because of where this one is, I think it'll kind of do the work for me and come down. Ooh. Yuck. And if you want to, you can come back out on the sides, you know, with a brush and make the blood go a little bit outwards again. I think the vampire blood, it's really red. So like if you're doing like a pale skin look like this, it almost looks a little bit too fake. Again, messiness is key with these looks. That's why I like them. Nothing has to be perfect. So yeah, you can go in and touch it up and do whatever you want to with it. I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I kind of like that it's a little like dripping down a little bit. You guys can see it from afar. All right, so now I'll just show you how to do a regular cut with the liquid latex. I'm just gonna take the same brush and try to pull as much latex as I can off of it. You're never gonna get it all off, which is why this brush looks like this. All right, and this one you want to be a little bit more careful of your placement because you want the middle to be big enough because we're gonna cut out the skin, but you don't want it to be so big that you can tell that it's liquid latex versus your skin. So I'm gonna go in with toilet paper. If you have 1 ply, you can skip this. I have 2 ply, so I'm just gonna take super light, thin piece and press it on. And then I'm just going to wait for this to dry. All right, so I've given it a couple minutes to dry, so I'm going to start peeling off around, and you can see a little bit better with the toilet paper versus the brown paper bag that it is getting yellow. So we'll just pull off everything around. We want to go around the edges so that we make sure it blends into our skin. Now that we have it all around the edges, I'm going to go and I'm going to cut out something that's just a little bit similar to this shape on the inside because I don't want any additional paper on the outside because I don't want it to be thick because I want it to blend into my skin. But I need this part to be a little bit stronger so that when we cut it, it won't tear and rip. So I'm going to use the other half of the toilet paper and just kind of rip it into a similar shape. So once you have something that's close to that size, to go ahead and put latex in the middle. And then put the piece of toilet paper on top of it. Add one more layer of latex. Wait for that to fully dry before we go on top of it and put makeup on. Do the same thing as before. Now if you're finding that this isn't covering enough, you guys totally use something else. Something like a cream, like the mascara beauty creams that I use would work better. But I use those for like professional stuff, so I don't really want to use it for Halloween. Now that it's all dry and good to go, we're gonna go in and kind of pull in just the center. Pull it up a little bit, and then take your little mini eyebrow scissors and put your, kind of poke a hole. Be careful not to stab yourself, and just start cutting. Now don't go too high because you don't want this part to lift off of the skin. We have some openings. I'm just gonna go in and cut a little bit of this off the side. And again, doesn't have to be perfect because nobody's cuts and scratches are perfect in real life. So now I'm gonna go back in with a sponge and more foundation and get those inside bits just a little bit more. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of purple in the center. Pull these up a little bit, stretch it out. All right, like you saw there, you can kind of stretch that, just like I said, be careful and do not pull off the sides. Go in with a little bit of red. You can just kind of dab that on there. We're gonna do the same like crinkly effect with the toilet paper and fake blood that we used up here. All right, don't be afraid to get all around it. Actually, I'm gonna take a little bit of black too, because I think it'll show up better. Same brush, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of red just around my eyes. I'm actually just going to kind of like, once I get a like liner, just kind of lightly dab out the rest of it below. Just kind of like where you would normally be tired, like where those normal like sunken in eyes are on days you don't sleep. I'm gonna go back in with some purple just to add a little bit more of that bruising effect. And I'm still gonna go in with a little bit more black. All right, I think I just want to add just a little bit of bruising around my lips too. This is pretty much the whole entire zombie look. So we've got our cut, we've got our dead rotten skin, we've got a couple of bruises, we've got our dead sunken in eyes. If you want to make it like a little bit prettier, you can add mascara or fake lashes, whatever you want, but Since I'm trying to be an ugly zombie, I'm not going to do anything like that. The only last thing I'm going to do is just kind of add the similar coloring and just create like a contour line. Take a brush I don't care about and blend it out. Alright, now let's take down this crazy bun. Don't even think I'll have to do much teasing for this one, because my hair is already a mess. I might just put in some like white coloring. Pretend like the melanin isn't in my hair anymore. Here's the finished look. We've got some dead rotting skin, we've got a cut, we've got some bruising for our zombie look. If you want to add blood, like, you know, you just ate, you can do that too. Add whatever you want to it. Took all the color out of our hair, gave ourselves some gray hair. If you guys want to see more looks like this, follow my page, Facebook, it's peachykeen11, and it's the same thing on Instagram. So give me a like and a follow, and I will see you soon. Thanks.